Paging the TV Doctor. Paging the TV Doctor. Our second show is Defiance, and that airs on sci-fi, and it's also doing well. It brought in sci-fi's best demographic premiere since 2006, with 2.7 million overall, 1.3 million viewers in the key 18 to 49 demographic. Best opening since 2009's Warehouse 13. But The Hollywood Reporter is saying that the show is pricey to make since it also comes with a multiplayer online game, which cost $100 million to create. But the people over sci-fi are going to let this show continue out because they have faith in it. And so far, it seems like their faith is well justified since it did have such a big turnout. So the show stars Grant Bowler as Chief Lawkeeper Jeb Nolan, Stephanie Leonidas as Erisa, who is an Erethiant, Julie Benz as Amanda Rosewater, she's the mayor of Defiance, Mia Kirshner as Kenya, her sister, and local barkeeper slash prostitute, Dushane Williams as Tommy, who is acting as uh, deputy lawkeeper, Trina Keating as Doc Yule, who is a Indogene, Jamie Murray as Stama Tar, she's a Cathithian, I think that's how you say it, Cathithian, along with her on-screen husband, the Tech Tar, who is played by Tony Curran, and their on-screen son, Alex Tar, played by Jesse Rath. Graham Greene is playing Rafe McCrawley, who is the local town hero, and Nicole Munoz as Christy McCrawley, Rafe McCrawley's daughter. And she's also in love with Alec Tar. And of course, as you can tell, this is going to be a little bit Romeo and Juliet-esque because both families hate each other. But the Tars are going to try and use, unknowns to Alec, they're going to try and use the marriage between Alec and Christy for their own political gains. So, why is this a good show? Why should you check it out if you haven't already? Well, first of all, let me just warn you that the season premiere was 2 hours long. So you want to invest some time when you sit down and watch the premiere if you haven't already. It's online now, so you can just easily do that. It'll take less time. It'll be 1 hour and 30 minutes online. But so why should you watch it? Well, first we have fun races of aliens, the Cathithians, the Erathians, Indogenes, Sensoth, which are kind of like Chewbacca's almost, or more like Yeti type beings, and Liberata, which I'm not sure we've seen those yet. We have these 5 different races, and of course we have humans, so it makes for a nice mix of color going around, of fun lines. The script was very punchy, I think. Kept you engaged in the story and in the characters. It gave you a little bit, I guess, a little bit more humanity to the different races than what we usually get, I think, from these types of shows where we have different alien races. And I say that loosely. There are some shows that do have a lot of humanity embedded in their different races, but generally we don't see them. I don't think, at least in my experience, we haven't seen them this animated in a while. You can jump right into the storyline, which is needed for this type of concept show because we don't know anything about this world, so we need some kind of way to just immediately feel like we are engaged in this world. So the script does that very well, I'll say. And it is overall it's a very engaging show. Like like I was saying about the characters, you get characters that you want to follow. You want to learn more about these races, who seem very well developed. At least for what we've seen in the 2 hour premiere, there seems to be some rhyme or reason to these characters. So it's good that there seems to be a working mythology going on. There seems to be, some stakes. We already had a huge battle, so I'm sure there are going to be more battles in the future. So we already have that this town is a town that has survived uh, despite the odds against them. So we have a lot of good things going for this show. Um, I guess the one thing that we need to worry about is if it's going to be able to handle all of these different elements. Like, will it be able to keep enough of a focus, enough importance, rather, to the Romeo and Juliet storyline as it will to Grant Bowler's storyline? Um, and, even learning more about Erisa, are we going to have enough stuff about her to keep her important? And I'm sure we will. The Romeo and Juliet one is the one I'm most worried about because it seems, out of all the characters, those two, Alec and Christy, are probably the least developed. So that's kind of dangerous. And also, not very developed. I think is the whole plot to use the marriage against McCrawley. I don't understand that. Maybe my hearing is going bad and I missed something, but I didn't really get that. I don't see how it could be to their advantage. So, but like I said, maybe I missed something. Tell me if I missed something in the comments section. Another thing that's good about the show is that it doesn't seem like it's just an advertisement for the game. Like, some tie-ins just seem like a tie-in, but this doesn't seem like a tie-in. It might stem from the game, but it doesn't seem like it's just to serve the game. It seems like it's to serve us, the television viewer, and give us a diversion for an hour. The show seems to, play with the fact that obviously it owes a lot of debt to Star Trek, um, and westerns for that matter. Uh, it plays with those elements in a very fun way, and in a way that shows that the creators really love the sci-fi genre and all the shows that have come before it. So that's really neat. And as a sci-fi viewer, it's really important, I think, to have a show that embraces its sci-fi-ness. The twist ending, I didn't see that coming at all. So if you love twist endings, this one is one that you really won't see coming. One thing that, just as an aside, one thing that I've noticed from these type of sci-fi shows that include different alien races is that the alien races always seem like mono races. And this is even in Star Trek too, even though they do kind of jazz it up a little bit with the Black Vulcan and stuff like that to show that there are different, ethnicities, I guess, in different cultures, in different alien cultures. But one thing that is still fairly constant in a lot of these alien shows is that the aliens always seem like they're only of one ethnicity. When just from our own world, we know there are people, but there are different types of people. There are different cultures and ethnicities of people. So how come there aren't different ethnicities of alien types? I mean, of course, they'll take a lot of work and a lot of thought. So, and we only have like an hour each week with these people, so you have to make it as streamlined as possible. But it would be nice to see like a little bit of like, I don't know, race relations between different types of aliens within the same group, if that makes sense. So, coming up, you might be wondering, if you followed my DowntonCast uh, videos, you might be wondering, when's the last episode of the DowntonCast coming up? Well, to be honest, after the season finale, we were just kind of done with the show. Like, we just got annoyed with everything that the show had become. And even with the promise of a black guy next season, and we're firmly into the jazz age and stuff, it's still not enough for me to even get excited. So hopefully coming up soon, I'll be able to have a full post mortem on why Downton Abbey needs to rethink itself and maybe like rejigger itself even more than it did this season. So stay tuned for that.